So we're hearing that the Boston Celtics are interested in hiring Stephen Silas, yes, the former Rockets coach, as an assistant coach. Paul Silas was a great NBA player, and I have actually really nothing against Stephen Silas, and I know he was thrown in a bad situation. And the reason why he became the Rockets head coach was he's supposed to coach James Harden, Russell Westbrook, or James Harden, John Wall, and DeMarcus Cousins. And the plan was because the season, like 2 seasons or 3 seasons that he was the lead offensive coordinator, basically, for Rick Carlisle in Dallas, they had like the number 1 offense. Now, some people will discredit him and say that was because of Luka Doncic. But Luka did help. But Stephen Silas is still a good, offensive mind. And I think Stephen Silas deserves another shot. And him being an experienced guy joining Joe Mazzulla's bench, all right, would actually be probably the best thing for them because he brings, a good mind. So let's talk about this report. So the Boston Celtics will attempt to hire Stephen Silas as an assistant coach this offseason. Silas was recently fired by the Houston Rockets after 3 seasons in the job. Silas would give Joe Mazzulla an experienced assistant coach with head coach experience. The Celtics lost Damon Stoudamire toward the end of the regular season when he took the head coaching job at Georgia Tech. This came from Marc Stein of the Stein Line Substack. Good source. Guy, I love his podcast with Chris Haynes. But again, just to give him an experience, he's going to dictate more offensively. And he's the guy that, think about it this way. Obviously, I'm not saying he's like Mike D'Antoni, but look how Mike D'Antoni still gets employed and stuff like that. It's because, they're good offensive coaches. And you pair him up with a good defensive coach, maybe along the lines of, I wonder who's available, because the assistant coaching game is interesting. We know James Borrego's out there, and I'm a huge James Borrego fan. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been fired from Charlotte because they were trying to take the next step, but he wasn't even fired. They went other ways. But again, Stephen Silas is a guy that I definitely think would bring some maturity and some basically just help Joe Mazzulla be a better coach, because Stephen Silas has gone through stuff with the Charlotte Hornets / Bobcats. I guess just Bobcats, because I think his dad wasn't there when they became the Hornets. He's coached on tons of teams, good and bad. And, he had a pretty tumultuous and I guess you would say documented head coaching experience on the first time, the complete opposite of what Joe Mazzulla has had. Joe Mazzulla and Emi Udoka had great first times as coaches, but we'll agree that it has not been the same for our man, Stephen Silas. So I think this could be a good signing. Or hiring, I guess, would be.